Everybody quiet on the set, please. This is MOTOVLOG microphone, take one.
Welcome back. If this is your first time coming across this channel, welcome. Check out the links below. Let's dive right into this week's video because it's short, sweet, to the point. Done it a couple times before, but this is an interesting take to it. What is it? We're gonna be swapping our microphone setup. There's so much hair on this thing. Now there's hair everywhere. We're gonna be swapping our microphone setup in the bell. We have this newer Simpson Ghost Bandit thanks to Zen. He hooked us up with a helmet, much appreciated, sir. This is eventually gonna be our second MOTOVLOG helmet, and we previously recorded this video, but we didn't have additional arms or links to bring it up just enough. We could do the same thing that we did with our Bell SRT as we did on our Bell Raystar and utilize Subaru moldable glue, but I didn't want to do that to this helmet. I'm going to just do a regular GoPro mount. What's going to be the difference with the new microphone setup versus the one that we're running? Currently what we are running and have ran for the last year and change is going to be the Purple Panda mic. It is a great microphone with a few drawbacks, mostly just because it's so great at what it does. The Purple Panda mic is a lavalier mic that we've utilized as our MOTOVLOG mic inside our helmet, but it's extremely sensitive. I can't remember what the terminology is, but it's got the microphone up on top and all the way around, and it picks up almost everything and anything. Where with the SRT helmet, it picks up a lot of additional wind noise that we don't like. If you went back a couple of videos and you look at shortly after we added to our helmet, you will notice that we sound very tinny and very kind of robotic, kind of high pitched. Well, because all that wind noise, we were trying to add high pass filters and a few other things in Adobe Premiere Pro that made it just sound terrible. We got closer, but it's still every once in a while it sounds pretty muffled, and we're trying to address that. So that's why we want to try this other one. This is what your end product is going to look like, minus this adapter. Take that off. This is what your microphone is going to look like. This is an old Apple EarPod before AirPods were a thing. Kids, this is what your AirPods started off as. This is where they split off, and your EarPods would be somewhere up here, but we cut off one EarPod, the side with the microphone. This is the microphone that we wrapped in the dead cat of all that fuzzy stuff that we were throwing around earlier, and then we just cut off the other one, said adios, don't need you, but we also put electric tape because who knows, it may still send off a little bit of current, that it may just give us a little, oh, what was that? What? And then you just have your regular wiring. And this is the other thing that you have. Forgive me if I get these backwards, but essentially you're going from a TRRS, which is your 3-ring. If you look at your audio jack, your microphone, whatever, you're gonna see that it has 3 white or black rings on the stem of the plug. And we're gonna be adapting it to a TRS, which is just 2 rings on your plug. So essentially you go 3 to 2, and that has to deal with something with the internals, the software of the GoPro, and that's gonna give you your in-camera mic. This was fairly easy to do. The only thing that's gonna be different from this microphone versus the Purple Panda mic that's in the helmet currently is that this is a whole lot bulkier. This is gonna be sitting in my cheek, just everywhere. I'm gonna feel it. It's just awkward. But the quality that I've seen, or heard for that matter, on these Apple microphones from your old EarPods is very crisp and clear. Now, quick note on the Purple Panda mic. For MOTOVLOG, you just have to knock down that trick of where it's best in your helmet, where it doesn't sound too muffled, it doesn't pick up a lot of sound from the wind. But if you're gonna be using it as an interview mic or a lav mic, if you're doing off-camera sound and you want to capture crisp audio, so say that's the camera and we're 20 feet out down yonder and we're trying to talk kind of like a fadeaway, like, oh, we're over here at this lake, something, but obviously the microphone's not gonna catch it. And then so what you could do is get that Purple Panda mic and use it as a lavalier mic because it is so crisp. We actually used it as a lav mic with the Metzler tire video when we first got the ME888s, and I really liked it. So we've gone through 3 different microphones. Here's one of the OG ones. This is the Sony ECM CS3. This is a great mic. It's got a bit of a hammerhead design. You have your audio pickups here on the side, and then again we did some 3M tape here down the center, and then we added some faux fur. This is the dead cat, and around this we used to have some pantyhose around it just so that was an additional filter for the wind. That's what dead cats help do. They help buffer the wind noise. That if you watch the Elite Touring overview with the performance caser brackets, you would have noticed that there was some wind in some portions, but have a dead cat on the Deity Mic Pro that helped buffer a lot of that wind and filter a lot of it out. And then again, after that, it's going to be high pass filters added in post that help clean it up just a little bit. But again, this one is about a $15 microphone on Amazon. Sony ECM CS3 is a great starter microphone if you're looking to get into this. And then you can bump up to the Purple Panda mic. None of these are that costly versus what you would call a shotgun microphone that you would put on a DSLR, your video camera, and so forth, where that one was about $200. And then all these lavalier mics is what kind of they're categorized as. They run from $15 to $30, and there's a couple of other ones that are a little higher priced, but then you start getting to a different realm. Now, everything's gonna be linked down below, so check them out. Compare which one is best for you if you're looking to get into them. And then you have this old Apple earpod setup with the microphone. This was $30, and we ended up just cutting it, and it looks hideous. But I'm curious to see what the sound quality is. If you'd like to see more gear review videos, check out the Patreon link. For $5 a month, the equivalency of a coffee a month, you can help support the channel and directly help with making more videos. So check it out. Be sure to check out the storefront as well. Get you some rad gear, and then let's move on. Shameless plug-in done. Moving on. So here is our current MOTOVLOG setup. We have a GoPro Hero 7 Black. GoPro, please go back and visit your old 3.5mm adapters. For those that are into motovlogs, recording in-camera audio with the GoPro, you'll know this is a headache. For those not familiar with it and are looking to get into it, that GoPro, after the introduction of the GoPro Hero 6, we moved on from the 5 to the 6. Everyone's like, wow, the camera body changed, the look of the camera body changed. They went from your standard silver look, even though some of them would be called black, to the black encasing. Nowadays, this is what your GoPro Hero looks like, that you have your white and silver models that will have a white or silver body, but most often you'll see your GoPro Hero Blacks look black. But since the introduction of the 6, they started incorporating this hideous dongle that is a necessary evil in order for you to capture in-camera audio, which is this. This is $50. You need this. It's cumbersome, it's ugly, it's blocky, and we had some Velcro tape on it that we glued on there. So we would have it somewhere here on the side before we picked up this whole case for this. This is an Aramark GoPro case, which is really neat because it keeps everything in-house, clean, and all in one place. Instead of having, like we did previously, we had the dongle here on one side and the helmet. Shortly after, Aramark came out with this, and there's several variations of this GoPro case. Just look on Amazon, you can do GoPro case, and this should pop up something that looks like this, where you have your dongle here on the bottom. In-camera audio is just a whole lot easier that way. Whenever you record, you have the audio that you want. And if you don't want that audio, you can go ahead and remove it and then add music or do a voiceover. But a lot of times it's just easier to have the additional audio ready. And that's the incorporation of the adapter. You need it in order to capture in-camera audio. So you have your microphone, whatever it is, your Sony, your Purple Panda mic, or your really weird looking mouse Apple earpod one. And so you have that, and then you need your TRRS to TRS adapter, so you plug that into your microphone, bada bing, bada boom, you're good to go. You're gonna put this in your helmet however you want it, do your wiring, get that going, and then you're gonna plug your microphone that's plugged into your adapter into your GoPro dongle, which is plugged into your GoPro. A lot of adapters to go in somewhere, but at least this doesn't look as bad. It would be really nice if this is all you needed. We have an extra person to join the party that goes to the GoPro. And then you are all set with in-camera audio. Here we are talking with the microphone. Here we are talking into the microphone that looks like a mouse, looks like a mouse. It's funny whenever people do audio tests because then they tend to repeat something and it usually goes slower. This is a test. This is a test. And all we did was just use electrical tape on the ends. We left a little bit of a hangover headphone that had the microphone just so that we could run the electrical tape and secure it like that. So we decided just to put a little bit of super glue near the end because we rolled it up like a burrito, and then we taped off the ends with electrical tape, and then that's good. So we're just gonna reroute this out with the old one, in with the new. I'm not the first to come up with this. I wanna go ahead and give credit to, I forget his channel. Well, it's linked down below. It just flashed on your screen. It's like T-Dub, BT-Dub. He's off in a colder climate because the video that I saw he did this, he was in the snow. And he also got it from some fella in the UK. So be sure to check those two videos out just so that we can give them credit because it was a solid video from them that turned us on to this. Hopefully this is an amazing microphone compared to the Purple Panda mic, but at what cost? Look at this thing, dude. I don't recall, I want to say that it came with Baby Dead Cat, that we added some Galfer tape here. Woo! I just can't stop doing that. And it also feels softer. This one just kind of feels rough and cheap, but again, it's also, I think, like $3 for this material. So quickly, let's go ahead and just record audio with both, that way you can hear. And this is going to be in from the GoPro. Testing 1, 2. We're here doing a video on the GoPro on a new lavalier mic option for motovlogs. Now we're gonna be changing the microphone up. Testing 1, 2, testing 1, 2. We are doing a motovlog video on a new microphone setup for motovlogs. This is the Apple EarPod option, which looks hideous. And now comes time to wire the helmet. Look at that, we are done. We're not gonna be doing it, wasting your time. You've seen hundreds of wiring options. And here's a quick rundown of the way I do it. Pretty much, since I run a Cena on one side, the microphone comes up to the one side, so I don't want double microphones on that side. So what I'll do is put the microphone on the opposing side for a little bit of balance, so that way I just feel even when I'm riding with my helmet on. Not really, it's not that bad. But that way it's a little bit of uniformity. If I feel a little bit of pressure, or if there's a microphone here, I'll have the other one near my mouth so that way I can pick up the words and the sounds that I'm making. And then with the excess wiring, what I'll do is I'll run it around the helmet within the cheek pads. I'll usually run it either underneath or above where the ear pads sit, and then behind on the back you can usually take those portions out. They're either button snap or you have some Velcro depending on your helmet brand and style. It'll dictate what style of retention system you have. Just be careful when doing so because you don't want to break any of the components. And then you're gonna finish wiring it around out on the side, and then it will still be underneath the cheek pads, but then you will expose it. And I'll have a little bit of extra wiring. What I'll do is I'll wrap it around once or twice. Usually it's just once it allows me. Then I'll have the microphone adapter from the dongle and I'll plug them in and they sit right behind. I don't like to have too much wire flying around everywhere, and that's why I really like this Aramark GoPro case. And then should you have an overly abundant amount of wire, what I'll do is I'll just get, again, electrical tape, I'll bunch them together. That's what this little is. I'm not sure how well you can see it. I just got it and I kind of made several U's around my finger, took them out, put electrical tape around it so that way it's secured. And then I just tucked that in on the back portion of the helmet. That allowed ample room. So here's the back of the helmet, ample room for the microphone to run on one side of the cheek pad and sit, where it still gave a little bit of slack should I need it. And then on this side, the same thing where it gave, you can see where I wrapped it around the front of the mount because it has a little bit of an S curve to it over time.